Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Virgo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the High Priestess card, right? So the High Priestess, hidden things revealed this week for you, dear Virgo. Now, if I'm honest, I don't feel like this is like any scary, nefarious kind of secret or anything like that that's about to come out. I actually feel like this is going to be a moment of revelation for yourself. So maybe some insight that you have about your own behavior, about your own thought process, about what you really want at a deeper level. It's like there's some realization this week that comes to you kind of through the intuition that might feel like a moment of like, wow, okay, that feels like a universal secret that was revealed to me about me, right? Maybe it is that. Maybe this is you starting to really see yourself in relation to your entire life, like as a bird's eye view in some way, shape or form. Your intuition is fire this week, right? It's on point. It's the High Priestess after all. So pay attention to the insights that come to you through that intuitive faculty. Pay attention to the nudges and the hunches that you get, especially on what I like to call the gut level, right? The High Priestess will always speak to us through thoughts, impressions. She's intangible. She doesn't communicate with words, right? So when you're, and that's not to say like if you're clairaudient, like that's not your intuition. What I'm saying is the High Priestess is the intuitive, imaginal, it is the intangible. She doesn't communicate through words, all right? It will never come through words. This kind of intuition is thought, impression, feeling, allegory, metaphor. It's all of that stuff. It's not like a direct in your mind message of you should go here with an arrow, right? It won't be that. It will be something more subtle, something more, you know, that gets you in the, you know, it's that stuff. Pay attention to that stuff this week because you're likely to find a lot of answers there. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves ya. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share. And if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, you've got the Three of Wands, right? So not only is some part of your, I don't want to say purpose, got a lot of issues around that word at the moment, right? But this, it's like you're having an intuition about where your luckiest or brightest path is this week. You might have some sort of instinct of, you know what, I'm going to go this way. And I got to be honest with you, whatever it is that you're planning to do or whatever string or thread you're following this week, you are likely to be met with some sort of resistance. And I don't think this is because people don't want to see you succeed. It's, you know, that whole, sometimes people say things because they love you and they don't want you to get hurt and they don't want you to lose money or whatever. And it's like, you can't see what I see, you can't feel what I feel. Just, I know it seems crazy, but let me follow this, right? So if you have naysayers this week, this is an even more like of a confirmation for you to say, obviously, you know, touch wood, common sense, right? Yes, I'm spiritual. Yes, I'm woo-woo. Yes, I'm all of that, right? But I like to think that I have my feet relatively on the ground at the same time. If you're about to walk over a cliff and you've got naysayers saying, you know, there's a cliff there and you can't see it, that's not what I'm talking about, right? Or if it's that you're doing something dangerous, then yes, obviously listen to your naysayers. But if you've got people saying, oh, well, you know, it's a bit of a risk that, and, you know, it's not the sensible thing to do, it's not what you would usually do. If you have those kinds of naysayers this week to something that feels aligned to you, something that feels like you're supposed to be doing it, you're supposed to be doing it, all right? Follow that intuition. Block everything and everyone else out this week. When it comes to your communications and conversations, you have the Temperance card. So temperance always comes with a little bit of drama, all right? That's a stupid fancy way of saying drama. If you know, you know. This, because you've got it here with this High Priestess card, this is a powerfully spiritual week for a lot of you. However, the drama does seem to set in because you're having to balance other people's opinions and thoughts on what you should be doing or what you are doing with your own understanding on that intuitive level. It may very well be as well, when it comes to the profession, the work or the career, there is a cat amongst the pigeons this week, right? There's likely to be some sort of piece of information that comes out that just, do you know what I mean? Like, this could be a challenge. I'm not going to lie to you, because the Temperance card can bring drama. All right, it can sometimes see us being in the middle of something and we're like, I'd rather not be here right now. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this may be something that you find out about your employer or about your boss that just doesn't sit right with you. And so maybe, just maybe for some of you, that's the reason that you're looking to get out. Maybe that's why you're looking at other avenues. Because Virgos, even for a mutable sign, you guys tend to be very steady and very loyal actually when it comes to employers. But the minute you see or feel something that is, you know, out of its integrity or whatever, it's like, yeah, I'm out. So, you know, fair point. When it comes to those of you that are business owners or people that work for themselves, this isn't to say that you could be the person, you know, that's causing the drama. It may be that your opinion or your thoughts or your beliefs are called into question this week. And what I mean by that is maybe an employee or a collaborator finds out about something that you have a really strong stance on, and it kind of puts them like, oh, you know, I didn't know that that was your thought around this whole thing, or, you know, and it's like, okay, well, if you'd known that, would you not have taken the job? Or like, how really does this change things? You know, it just depends where everybody's at and what the unique circumstances are. But watch out for this. There's a little bit of drama this week. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, this might be one of those weeks where you know you've got information that could sway something, and you're sat on the fence asking yourself, like, it's like you're sat on the fence biting your tongue, like, do I say something or do I just let it slide? You got to ask yourself. I can't give you that answer. Only you can answer that. For your love and relations, you have the Emperor. So for those of you that are married, your partner features heavily for you this week because they come up as the Emperor. The Emperor usually represents, so in a woman's spread, this would represent her husband, sometimes the boss. In a man's spread, it usually represents him or his father. However, we live in a wonderfully diverse world, so I'm just saying that this week for me, it actually represents the partner. And it's like something that they're doing is forcing you to have to look or think bigger than your original plans. You just got to ask yourself, how on board are you with that? With the High Priestess here as well, this could be a week where you are having to help a partner navigate something where they can't see all of the blind spots, and you are able to this week. So finding a way to navigate that's going to be quite tricky. When it comes to your those of you that are single, if you're meeting someone this week, it's likely to be somebody that has had an eye on you for a while. Not in like a creepy way, you know, but like somebody that's liked you for some time. You might realize that information might come to you this week, and maybe, you know, part of the drama is that somebody else that you know really likes them, but they really like you, and you're like, hey, listen, I didn't even know about this. Like, you know, it could be a bit of a triangle situation like that as well, very possible. But with that Emperor card, for those of you that are single, if you're meeting someone this week, there is potential for them to become a lot more. For your money and materials, you have the Page of Pentacles. Love this card for money. It's a great card for money because it suggests that not only is money good this week, but your money is made or enhanced by your own ideas, your own skills, your own projects. This is a week to really push ahead with things. The energy is with us from here until that eclipse on the 29th of April. We've got great energy for pushing ahead with ideas and projects. When it comes to your money this week, because this is underneath the Temperance card, I would say this is not necessarily the best week to share your plans unless they are already solid, all right? When it comes to your physical health and vitality, your throat, your neck, and your voice. especially if you're in any kind of field like I am. This is a week where you really do need to look after the voice, the vocals. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, it looks like a lot of you are starting to work on the external part of the house. For some of you, this will be working on possibly the foundations of the house on the outside, especially for those of you that have got homes that are underpinned or anything like that. This might be a good time to get a survey done as well, especially now that all the planets are direct. Yes, Mercury is still in post shadow, but it is direct, right? So this would be a good time to get a second opinion on any structural work to the home, but it would just as easily be a good time to start work on the external aspects of the home. So the facades, the guttering, the garden, and the the ground itself. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes out. Take care, and I'll see you soon.